Thank you for watching another episode of Salonis Reviews. Our mission is to help you decide what to love making next. I am Mrs. Salonis Reviews, and today I will be unboxing these Bricktanicles sets. A big thank you to all who have subscribed to our channel. Please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. We're trying to reach 250 subscribers by the end of November. So, just a quick introduction on the Bricktanicles sets. I have always loved building the flowers since they've started doing them with the Legos. I find them creative and a much better way to do flowers than live flowers that die. So I'm really I really enjoy those. And recently I was at our local Walmart looking to see what Lego sets they had, and I happened to look aside at a set and I saw these sets, these Bricktanicles sets. The first thing I noticed was the flower vase. I'm always disappointed that I don't have any Lego type vases for my Lego flowers, so that caught my attention. And then I saw the wonderful other flowers, and the great thing about these sets is while they're small, they were only $5 at my Walmart. So I did not feel guilty just picking them up and buying them to give them a try. So they have the vase, and the vase here is a 3-in-1. There are 3 different vases that you can get that you can make with these pieces. And honestly, part of me wants to go ahead and buy 2 more of these vases just so I can build them all. And then this current grouping has a hydrangea, a dahlia, and a blue bonnet. And they're all fairly similar in the number of pieces. To me, it looks like the number of pieces varies based on the number of petals or pieces to the flower. So I have a feeling that that's just indicative of the particular type of flowers. I have looked online. These are available on Amazon. You can also get them on Walmart.com. The interesting thing is that sometimes they come in boxes, sometimes they come in bags, and they vary in price. Even on Walmart.com, sometimes they're at $5, and at the same time you can find them listed somewhere else on Walmart.com as like $15. So, and there are Christmas sets coming out. So I'm really excited to see how well these build and how nice they turn out. I can tell from looking at this vase that I can put all 3 in one vase. So I'm not concerned that I only have one vase. And really for all 4 of these sets, I spent like 20 bucks. So it's not a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and open these. And then my intention is to do each one of them as just sort of a quick video and then do an overall review of them all together. So I think I'm going to start with opening this flower vase. Just because, you know, if I'm building the flowers, the first thing I think is the vase, right? As I said, you can see 3 different build styles. They're really interesting looks to the vases. Looks like perhaps this one may have the biggest opening. I can't tell for sure. I really can't see much about the opening on option 3. I'm going to move it up just a little bit closer just in case that will help you see them a little bit better. As I said, the style is Bricktanicles. They are made, it says, by Brickcraft. This vase is for 8 and up. So it should be a pretty simple build, and it has 70 pieces. And it looks like it's a New York company, and it does actually specify that extra parts may be included. I find that interesting. Here's another picture of it over here on this side. They've got, like many items in the US, they have the same thing on many different sides, just in case, however they end up on a shelf, you can tell. And then on the back it says compatible with leading brick building brands. I feel like that might be a way of saying that they're compatible with Lego, since they are the leading brick building brand. And so it shows again that you have option 1, option 2, and option 3 for the for the vase. Primarily they're showing this vase, so that's I think what I'm going to build. and it says that it's going to be 5.95 inches tall, so essentially 6 inches, or 15.11 centimeters tall. And it does show down here that there's going to be an instruction manual included. So let's go ahead and see if I can figure out how to open this box. I think it's just going to be a pry up the lid sort of thing. Yeah, I think it is. Wow, that's really attached well though, so I'm going to see maybe if I can cut down into that gap to try and open it up a little bit without snapping my blade. Doesn't seem to want to open. Here. Use one of my brick separators here, see if that'll help. Ah, that did it. Ah, the many, many uses of a brick separator. Okay. Part of me wonders if I opened that in the right direction, but it worked. Alright, so I have just a bag that looks like it's mostly white pieces with a gray post in there. And an extra white piece, and then this looks like all those petal pieces that go to make up the outside curves of the vase. And then here is the directions. Again, it has a picture of the 3 builds. It calls them the final builds. It does look like this is going to be a sheet. I don't think this is going to be as irritating as most sheets are to build, because it's a much smaller build, so it'll be a lot easier to use them. So it looks like there's a build one. Part 1 is a universal base. So all 3 of the vases have the same bottom that you're going to build. And then it says part 2, choose your vase option. And it shows option 1 on the front here. And then it says instructions continue on the back. It looks like every time you add a piece, it's kind of highlighted in red. It does look like they've included those turn the item around parts. It's got the pieces here where you know, you can see which pieces you're going to need for each part. And down here at the bottom, it kind of, as you're adding the petals, it shows something about the right way to attach the petal. So it looks like it wants to make sure that you're attaching them sort of in a plus or a cross rather than too close together. So it's got that detail in there, and it has some smaller areas where it gives a little bit more specific detail of what you're building. On the other side, it's going to have the rest of the first style of vase. And then, oh look, it's got a flower placement. So it looks like that ring down at the bottom is going to be for making sure that the stems stay in place and don't shift around. So they're going to stay completely upright. So that actually is a really great idea. And it looks like the second vase has a second ring up at the top, so that it's also, your flowers are being braced in 2 separate places when you place them in. And then it does look like the third one has that as well. The third one has very, very simple directions, so I mean, it's really only 2 steps to do the third one. It's 3 steps for the second one and 7 steps for that first one. So obviously the first one is the more complicated. I really can't wait to get this one started. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the flowers though first. Go ahead and get these all back into the vase box. And so we've got the hydrangea. And again, I can't really see any other way to open this other than just prying up the lips. So I'm going to go ahead and use the brick separator again because it worked really well that first time. Okay. There we go. A little bit of extra there. All right, so the hydrangea. And this one, yeah, this is 121 pieces. Again, it's one brick flower. It says 8+ pieces. It says extra parts for added stem height, which that's just great. That means that it's got a basic height, but I can change its height as I want by just adding extra pieces to the bottom. And the hydrangea flower total height, I'm assuming without those extra pieces, is 9.65 inches or 24.51 centimeters. And there is an actual photo of a hydrangea there, so you can sort of see how it matches to the real life flower. It also does specify that the other flowers and vase are sold separately, just in case you hadn't realized that. And just like the vase, all of the sides pretty much say the same thing except what's on the back. So there's one bag of parts and a stem piece, and that's it. So this is 121 pieces, so it's 51 more pieces than the vase, but they're all in one bag. And just like that one, it does have the same sorts of instructions. It's got the total parts list there. It actually has a little box here that I think was on the other directions too. Have questions or comments, email. So there's definitely ways to contact them if you need to. It also has their website right there. And it's got the step-by-step guides. It's got one of those neat things for posts where it helps you to make sure you're getting the right size on the post. Although I think it's the only size on the post that they have, so it's not too necessary on this one. Down here on step 3, it does have one of these where it's going to make sure you've got the right piece, that you need this one that has the nib rather than the completely flat top. It also says, pro tip, align parts according to the above diagram. So making sure that when you put this together, it's going to match this picture so that it aligns properly. And then we have more on the back again. Oh, so in this one, you're going to need the completely flat version rather than the one with the nib on top. So, after that, it looks like they don't bother to tell you, so you can pretty much go ahead and use what makes sense, it looks like to you. There's some pictures here to make sure you're placing them right. It says this one on the ones that you're adding here, it says place on the bottom row. It shows one on the bottom row with a check mark, puts some up on the other rows with X's. The next one changes that so it's the middle row. Third one, I'm guessing, yep, it's the third one is the top row. And then there's an optional bonus step for extra stem height. There's the optional ninth step if your stem is not long enough, how to make it longer. So this is only 8, maybe 9 steps. The vase was, 7 steps, plus the couple that got the base done. So these are not going to be long builds at all. I think I should be able to get them done probably in one build day. I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see, we've now got the blue bonnet. The blue bonnet has very different leaves from the others. It's definitely different blue. It has some yellow in it. And this one is 96 pieces. And again, it says 1 brick flower. They all do have this warning about the small parts, choking hazard, not for children under 3 years. Most building kits that are not the size of Duplos are going to have that because, yeah, they're small pieces. You should be aware if you have small children or animals of the small pieces. It also, again, has every side pretty much saying the same thing. And with the blue bonnet, it does have a picture of what blue bonnets look like. And I have to say, based on their pictures, it looks a lot like they designed these to match the pictures that they're showing because they do look very similar. Okay, so there was a bit of a filming error and I continued to unbox while the camera stopped filming. So I'm going to just try and go back over some of the things that I talked about and didn't get recorded. When it stopped, I was talking about the blue bonnets, I believe. And I had noted that they did a very nice job of matching the flowers to the pictures that they referenced. Something that I then noticed a little bit later is with the heights of the different flowers, the tallest of the flowers is this bluebonnet. It's 10.5 inches or 26.67 centimeters. Followed closely by the hydrangea, which is 9.65 inches or 24.51 centimeters. And then the Dahlia is going to be 9.35 inches or 23.75 centimeters. So that's between a little over 9 inches and 10.5 inches in height for the flowers. So, and then they all do come with these extra parts for added stem height. Since we're now looking at both the Dahlia and the bluebonnet, I'll note that on the Dahlia box, it also shows, in addition to the extra parts for added stem height, it's going to show this adjusted angling, which turns out it's for letting you tip the head of the flower so that it's not stuck in one position, which the bluebonnet and the hydrangea, because they bloom out from the stem, are both fixed in place. So in the bluebonnet box, again, there is just one bag of pieces, and the stem, this one has 96 pieces. The directions are very similar to the others. And it just shows you how to put them all together. Again, we have the references to, in this case, which direction the pieces need to go to make it work. So they're calling it the correct orientation, to make sure that you put the round pieces in the right direction. And then, just like with the hydrangeas, it's going to show you which ring you need to put things on. The bluebonnets ends up with 13 steps, 14 if you put on that extra layer to make a taller stem. So it's still pretty simple. I find it interesting. This one has fewer pieces, but it has more steps. So I find that interesting. Let me put this away and then go ahead and look at the pieces out of the Dahlia. So the Dahlia is, again, the reference picture, they're very close to each other. It's got a single bag of pieces, but the pieces all seem to be a lot smaller than the other sets. And then, whoops, the stem's trying to run away. There's the stem, and then, of course, the directions. If we look at the directions, it has all the same parts as the other sets. It does have pro tip to angle the petals, it says, inward after attaching. So these are far more positionable as far as the flower goes than the others appear to be. Those appear to be really very symmetrical and intended to be in specific places, whereas this flower appears to have a lot more of your ability to shift things a little bit to change the look to look exactly the way you want it to. And then, you can see all of the parts. We still have the pro tips. It does keep telling you that you can angle the parts. This one has 10 steps. An 11th step if you want to add the optional extra stem height. So that's where the stem height is. It looks like that this is here, whereas the adjustable angling comes in, and that is right at the point in the stem where the flower starts to attach. So you can tip the flower as well as attaching the petals and folding them inward to where you feel like they go well. This one, the Dahlia, has 100 pieces, so it has more pieces than the bluebonnet, fewer pieces than the hydrangea. So it's the one that has the least pieces of the flowers is the one with the most steps. The one with the most pieces of the flowers has the least number of steps of the flowers. The vase, of course, has the least number of pieces and the least number of steps, but it has the options, which makes it a little bit more complex. So I hope that got you all the information that was missed in the era of filming. Please like and subscribe to see our latest videos. If you're in a position to support us on Patreon, please click our link in the description. We have a camera that needs to be replaced, so I don't have these filming errors. For $3 a month, you get ad-free access to our videos. That $3 could help you decide what to love building next. Thank you, and I will see you at the review.
I finally got around to writing an outro to give you plenty of time to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thanks again to those of you who have already subscribed, and one of you will have the good luck to be my first paid tier patron on Patreon if you subscribe today. For $3 a month, you get access to my videos without having to watch ads. Thank you in advance.